Hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Welcome to Crafty Beach. This is Julie. I have Valentine's Day Dollar Tree DIYs for you. I'm back with brand new DIYs. Your girl got pretty sick after the Christmas cruise. We had so much fun on our Christmas Caribbean cruise, but I got sick and I'm finally, I think, on the mend. So I am back to crafting. For the first DIY, what I want to do is I want to DIY my coffee bar. If you've seen any of my coffee bar videos before, you've probably seen this sign many times. This is just a board sign that I got at the thrift store. And I think I've remade it like maybe a dozen times for different themes for my coffee bar. It's just a great wood board sign and it fits perfectly on the shelves above my coffee bar. I have a DIY coffee bar in my house where I took a $12 cabinet that I got at Goodwill and I converted a tiny wall next to my kitchen into a coffee bar, and I love to decorate it seasonally. Now, getting the vinyl off the sign was no big deal, but I've let the sign sit for a while and I had Mod Podged on these cardboard lemons from the summer section at Dollar Tree, and I think I let it sit too long because it was hard to get this off. Getting it wet helped a little bit, but as you can see, it was on there. So what I did was I grabbed it, I went to my kitchen sink with a scraper from the Dollar Tree and like that sanding sponge you see there, got it really wet, and I was able to get it off, but it was a lot of effort. Lesson learned. I try not to attach things that would cause a lot of damage to this sign because I like to reuse it so much. But this was a blue sign before. I want to make it a pink sign for Valentine's Day. So I'm just going to cover the whole thing with some white acrylic paint to give me that blank canvas. I like to do that to cover anything that was on there before. And the only bad thing about the sign is the paint does kind of get in between the different boards, but I try to clear that up before any of the paint dries like that. But it's a great palette board sign, so that's why I like to reuse it. It's nice and heavy duty, and again, it fits perfectly on my coffee bar. So once I get a blank canvas, I can make this into anything. And I've actually done this with like paintings in my house that I didn't like anymore. I've went over them with white gesso and did a beach scene on them. And you would never know they had red and orange flowers underneath. But you can do the same thing with white acrylic. I just put a couple coats on there until I get a nice white coat. And then this is the color of pink I'm using. It is a polished pink by Apple Barrel. And it is very pretty, I think, for Valentine's Day. The theme I want to do on this coffee bar is sweetheart, cafe, like a coffee and bakery kind of theme. And I want to use like bright pinks and bright reds. I think that will look really pretty. And I'm also going to be doing a Valentine's Day tier tray today with the same kind of color scheme and theme. So I think that these DIYs are going to work really well together. Once I got it all pink, I want to add, of course, a Valentine's Day heart to it. This is just a Dollar Tree sign. I really like this sign because it looks like wood boards. It's red. Don't have to do anything to it, but attach it. Now, I thought if I used Dollar Tree thumbtacks, it would cause less damage than hot glue. So I just put a couple in the holes for the hanger. I'm also going to put one here at the bottom. These are from the Dollar Tree. These are the thumbtacks that come with the nails. They work great for stuff like this. Now for the lettering on here, I went to my Cricut Joy Extra and I'm going to cut out some vinyl. I just used fonts that were already included in Cricut Design Space and a coffee cup, really easy. I will share the Cricut design file with you down below if I can. And I just cut it out on some smart vinyl. I love the Joy Extra because I can use the smart vinyl. The only thing I don't like about the Cricut smart vinyl is I tend to have to use the actual Cricut name brand transfer tape for this. Otherwise, I can't get like my paper transfer paper to stick to it. But you know what? I love not having to use a mat. It just makes cutting vinyl so much faster. So this is the transfer tape I'm going to use. It is the name brand, and I'm going to cut out a strip for each one. what I did is I had about 4 inches. They're 4-inch boards on the sign and they're 12 inches wide. I had enough room for that. So I did 4 by 12-inch rectangles on Cricut Design Space and filled them up with Sweetheart and the word cafe. I've done like a Cupid's Bakery kind of theme before, and I really love that. That would be another great name for your coffee bar sign. But Sweetheart Cafe is a new one I thought would be fun. So I am just going ahead and removing the backing paper on this. Even with the Cricut brand, it is a little bit tricky. This is the permanent vinyl, and I don't know if I got the removable vinyl, if it would be a little bit less picky. It does weed really well, especially compared with some of the cheaper vinyl that I have used. So instead of hand painting it, I'm just using vinyl just because this is just for Valentine's Day. I can always peel this off and remake this sign because I'm sure I will. So I put Sweetheart here on the top line. I'm going to transfer that. If you fold it like that completely flat, you're going to have a lot more luck. And then cafe. I usually don't ever put anything on the bottom row of my coffee bar sign because I'll have stuff on my coffee bar shelf there and it would be kind of hidden anyway. And I want to make sure that you can read the sign really well. I wanted to add a cute little coffee cup there with a heart on it to go with my Valentine's Day coffee bar theme. I'm loving just the pink with the white writing, the bright red heart. I did think I needed some more of those thumbtacks though. That way I can kind of make the heart look studded all the way around. I don't necessarily want to cause more damage to the sign in the back though, because these aren't necessary. These are just decorative. So what I did is I just put them in the seams between the 2 boards. And I'm going to do that 2 on each side and then 1 in the very middle here to make it look intentional. Really cute, kind of basic, but I love this and I think this is going to be a great background. Here I hung it on the top of my coffee bar wall above one of my shelves. Now we're going to fill those shelves with fun Valentine's Day DIYs and finds. But first, if you're enjoying today's video, be sure to hit that like button. It always helps my videos do better here on YouTube. Okay, the next item is just one of these little soft pink coffee creamers from the Dollar Tree. They usually have writing on them, but you know what? It's so easy to remove. All you have to do is use some fingernail polish remover and you can have a blank little coffee creamer. And I think the coffee creamer will go great with the theme. Just needs a little touch of Valentine's Day. I'm going to use some Valentine's Day window clings that I got at the Dollar Tree and a little bit of Mod Podge to help it stick. And just very subtle. Again, I'm using lots of pinks and reds on this coffee bar and the tier tray that we're going to be doing today. And I think they just scream Valentine's Day. I love how everything turned out. For this one, I'm just going to put one of the little mini whisks and the little spoons from the Dollar Tree. They're like the red silicone material. And I think they'll look really cute in here and it'll go with like the bakery sweets theme that we're also going to be doing on this coffee bar. It's not all going to be about coffee. It's also going to be about baking and sweets. And this is how it looks on my shelf right there below our little Sweetheart Cafe sign. Lots of room here to decorate. I have 2 shelves we're going to decorate. The next item is this cute little sign I found at the Dollar Tree. It's like a little rotating sign. It says welcome to our home on one side. And I thought, you know what, this would be a really cute open, closed sign. I'm actually just going to do an open sign for my Sweetheart Cafe. So the frame itself is black. I didn't think that really went really well with my theme. So I'm just going to spray paint that white. Unfortunately, I had very little spray paint. I probably should have used the pink one there because I kind of ran out about halfway through, but I'll just finish it up with some ivory color and it did the trick. It brightened up the stand. Now for the sign itself, I am just going to go over one side. Doesn't matter which one. I chose this one and I am trying to cover up all of that black writing on there. So it's definitely going to require about 3 coats of white acrylic before I can go ahead and paint it what color I want it to be, which is bright red. This is just bright red acrylic. I'm going to go over this with a couple of coats too, because if you've ever painted red before, you know it definitely takes a couple coats to give you that bold red color. Since I did the sign for the coffee bar in pink, I thought this one would look really good in red. And then I wanted to say open. These are the Dollar Tree wood letters. I've had trouble finding these lately. And of course, They don't give you any extra vowels, but you know what? I have lots of F's that I can make into E's. And so that's what I did, just cutting down 2 letters and putting them together because I wanted to say open. And I really wish Dollar Tree would get these back in because all I can ever find are numbers. And I hardly ever use numbers. I use letters all the time. But I am just painting them with a makeup sponge and some white acrylic paint so they will pop against that bright red color. I want to do just a very kind of subtly themed Valentine's Day theme to this, but I want it to be like a cool little open sign that we can have for the Sweetheart Cafe. Just attaching them with a little bit of hot glue. That hot glue gun squirts out a lot of hot glue, maybe too much sometimes for like a smaller project like this. But I'm just trying to put just a couple dots on here. And this is my final piece to make that F and E. And there is a small crack. I like to kind of fill that in with just a little bit of spackle. And you can't even tell. Now, I didn't have any footage there, but what I did was I just went in with my white paint pen and I want to do a border all the way around this, kind of like what was on there before to kind of make it pop. I was trying to decide if I just wanted to do an outline like that. And then I decided, nah, I want to go all the way to the edges. And so that is what I did. I just went around all 4 sides with my white paint pen and painted that just to kind of give it a border and really accent that really cool shape that the sign is. I thought my paint pen was a little streaky though, so I did kind of go in and fill it in with some white acrylic, just using a small paintbrush to kind of stay where I wanted to go there. And I really love the red and white. Then I thought it needed a little heart for Valentine's Day. I'm going to use one of these pink wooden hearts from the Dollar Tree and just a dot of hot glue. We can put that on there. I think that's perfect. I'm going to pop that back on that stand. It rotates. If you wanted to do closed on the other side, you totally could. But my coffee bar is always open, so we're going to leave it like that. This is how it looks up on my top shelf. I think it's a good height going underneath the Sweetheart Cafe sign and definitely goes with like the cafe theme. The next item is a squishy toy I got at the toy aisle at Dollar Tree. It's a pink and white cake with strawberries. Normally I paint these, but I love this for Valentine's Day as is. I'm just going to display mine on a light pink candle holder that I also got from the Dollar Tree for a little mini cake stand. And we're going to put that there next to the open sign, and the top shelf is almost complete. I thought another dessert would be really cute, so I'm going to use one of these red ramekins, so like plastic dessert dishes, I guess, from the Dollar Tree. And from the kitchen aisle, they look like this. And one of their, I think these are new this year, the cupcake ornaments. I love these, and I'm going to be DIYing with these later on in today's video as well. I think they're so cute. It's a little small for this little ramekin dish, but I hot glue it in the middle, and I don't really want you to be able to see the glitter on this one. I want it to look like a big frosted dessert. So I'm just using some of the caulk mastic that's in one of these little tubes from the Dollar Tree, and it squirts out just like icing. Just a really easy way to do some faux icing. And I just covered up the glitter, but leaving all of the little faux candy sprinkles on top. There's even like little tiny hearts in there, so I think that's really cute. And it definitely goes with like the red, white, and pink color scheme. Then I'm going to take one of those wooden red hearts from the Dollar Tree, and since this is made out of styrofoam, I can just sit this down inside that little cupcake. It went in just fine, and we have a little Valentine's Day cake that we can sit here next to the little squishy toy cake, which I think looks so cute. And that is the top shelf of my coffee bar. I think it's really coming together. Now let's get started on the bottom one. I found this great letter board at the Dollar Tree the other day, and I thought this would be perfect for Valentine's Day. And I think this would be great for like a cafe because you could do a little message on there. I am going to remove the hanger though, because I don't really have enough room to hang this with a nail. I'm actually going to hang it with some double-sided tape. The only thing I don't like about it is the blue boards to hold the letters. Doesn't go with my color scheme, but the pink heart on the back does. So I'm just taking some painter's tape, and it fit perfectly in between the spaces. And I had to do it between every single one. And I also have to do the sides as well, so that I can paint those a different color for Valentine's Day, I wanted mine to be pink and red. So this is just bright red acrylic, and I'm using a makeup sponge to paint this. I probably should have painted it white first. It might have made the red pop a little bit because as you can see, it did make it a little bit darker, but that's okay. I want like all different colors of pink and red on the coffee bar today. And then I had to use a brush to kind of get the bottom and top and the side edges of it too. Being very careful painting this because I don't want to block any of the little lanes for the letters. So I still need to be able to slide the letters in. And I have a fun message I plan on putting on there that will totally go with our theme. So that looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and remove all of the painter's tape. I actually did a pretty good job of taping it. Didn't have any bleeding at all. Now for the letters, these are not made out of wood. They're like a thick cardboard. And the weird thing about these is that they have like the letters on the front and the back, which worried me because I didn't think I would have enough letters to spell out what I wanted to spell out, but actually I did. So I thought I would put, instead of love you a lot, I thought I would put love you a latte to go with my a sweetheart cafe theme. I thought that would be funny. And so I don't really have room for a latte on the bottom, but I'm just going to do the word latte here. Just kind of going from the sides they're closer to and sliding these in. And I have plenty of room for latte. So on this line, I'm going to have U and the word A. Some of these were a little tight, but I guess that's good. It'll make them stay into place. You just have to try to get them in there straight if you can. And then I'll put the word love here on the top. And I love a good message board like this. You could also, I guess, put like food items that are offered at your cafe too. But really cute little Valentine's Day DIY with these. This wasn't a Valentine's Day find. It was actually in with just like the home stuff at the front of my Dollar Tree. But we made it a Valentine's Day DIY. And I'm going to attach it to the back wall above the bottom shelf. As you can see, I like to decorate this wall a lot with things for a fun background for the shelf. The other thing I'm going to use back there is one of these great pink, white, and red wood bead heart wreaths from the Dollar Tree. I don't have to do anything to it. It's perfect. I just hung it by a nail, kind of at a side like that, just to give it a little bit of personality. But that is some really fun decorations for the back of this shelf. Now, this is, you know how they have like the Valentine's Day trees? We've used the cupcake ornaments. They also have tree toppers. So I thought this would be fun to use just on its own. It's a cupcake. It says sweet, and I kind of like the little stand that it's on. I think it's a perfect size for a coffee bar or like tier tray decor. So I'm just going to put that right there on my shelf to get us started filling in this shelf for my coffee bar. The next DIY, I wanted it to make it look like I had a little Valentine's Day latte. So I want to do a faux cup of latte. And this glass coffee cup that I got from Dollar Tree, I think is going to be perfect. All I did was remove the tag from the bottom. Get some of that Dollar Tree glitter out of there. If you shop at Dollar Tree, you know what I mean. And this is like a beachcomber beige color, I think it's called. It is just an acrylic paint. And I use one of those Dollar Tree stencil daubers to sponge the paint on the inside of the glass. That way it'll look like it is filled with this like milky coffee color. And I just want to go all over. I'm gonna not fill the cup up with anything. I don't want to mess up the paint, but I do want it to look like a full cup of latte. So that will make it look like it's full by being painted from the inside like that. Now, I need a top to go over it since I'm not going to put anything down in it. And I just need some cardboard. So I'm just going to use a soda box just for some cardboard. You can use whatever you have in your recycling bin. And I just put my coffee cup on there. I'm going to sketch out how big I want this. And it's basically going to be a lid for the coffee cup. So we can do like a faux coffee, add some whipped cream on top, and make it look like it is a full faux cup of coffee. So I just went ahead and cut that out. I am obviously not great at cutting circles, so I'm going to try to fix that a little bit. But once you get it on there, you can also cut it if you have any of the cardboard hanging over. And then I'm just going to add some hot glue around the rim trying not to mess up my paint there on the inside, and just sit this right on top. A lot easier than trying to fill it up with something and wasting materials and stuff like that. Just something free from the recycling bin. And then I just cut off any excess, and now we can decorate the top of this. Again, I'm going to use some of this caulk mastic from the Dollar Tree. You could also mix some of their like hole filler spackling with white paint too, and put it in like a cake decorating icing bag. But this is easy peasy. It doesn't like necessarily get a lot of height, but I don't really need a lot of height for coffee. I just want it to look like it has like a fun whipped cream frosting on the top of this latte. So I just use a paintbrush to kind of spread it around the edges to make sure I seal it in between any crevices between the cardboard and the cup. And then I want most of it to be in the middle. And so I just fill that in, and I do it a couple of times. I only had like a partial bottle of this left, but I really didn't need a whole lot for this. I do want it to be taller in the middle like that and have that classic like little whipped cream swirl up there. But I also want it to kind of be clean here around the edges if I can. And we will add some Valentine's Day touches to this as well. I needed a little bit more height here. It did want to kind of settle on me. So I just tried to put some more there in the middle and just kind of swirl it together. For Valentine's Day fun, I'm going to put a little heart on the front of it. I'm going to use one of these red and pink ones again. That's going to go with my color scheme. Little window cling. And since this is glass, I don't even have to Mod Podge it. It will stick right on there, right on the front of the cup. And then I do want a little heart like here, like in the whipped cream. And I'm just going to use one of those wooden hearts and kind of stand it up in there like this. And we have a really cute little faux latte. It was really easy to make with just a couple of items from the Dollar Tree. And I think that's going to look really cute there next to our little cupcake. And it really makes me want that. It looks really good. And we are going to keep filling this up. The next item was pretty much already ready to go. This is a Valentine's decor I just got from the Dollar Tree. It says My Sweet, has a cupcake on the top. Has a lot of glitter on it though, and I haven't used a lot of glitter yet for any of these, so I'm going to tone it down with some matte finish Mod Podge. I'm also going to use that on the entire sign because these signs from the Dollar Tree are kind of glossy paper. They look a little bit cheap, but you can give them a nice matte finish with Mod Podge and make them look a little bit better. And again, I did want to tone down that glitter on the cupcake, but I think this is going to be great right here in the middle. Isn't that so cute? And I'm loving the reds and the pinks together. I think it's so fun for Valentine's Day. The next item is a little coffee lamp that I found at the Dollar Tree. It lights up, which is kind of cool, right? It's like one of these like little boxy things from the Dollar Tree. The only thing I don't like about it is the color. It's like a soft blue coffee cup, and I want this to be for Valentine's Day. So I wasn't sure if I'd be able to change the color on this, but let me show you how I did it. I'm just using a makeup sponge and some white acrylic paint and doing a very thin coat because I don't want any paint to pull up inside the handle of the coffee cup or like where coffee is cut out of the sides or the design on the top. So I just had to be patient and do thin coats until I cover most of the color in this project. Since I'm going to be painting it, I thought I probably need to paint everything to make it look good. This is the color I'm using. It is the pink polish from Apple Barrel, and I'm just going all over with a stencil dauber again, sponging that on where the coffee cup is and the tray underneath. And there'll also be like a little rim here, so I just switch to a smaller brush and try to get the cup drawn back in there. There's really no lines or anything to go with because I made everything white. And then I'm using that Beachcombers beige for the coffee itself. And I'm just going to use one of these little chunky brushes and kind of like sponge this on this area. I don't want to go too crazy. I don't want to mess up any of the white steam coming off of it or the pink coffee cup. But I think that's looking pretty good. I'm going to touch that up a little bit here around, and I do want to add some white too. For like a frothing white whipped cream or whatever on the top of it with that cool little heart design. In the top of it, I think that will look cute. So I just kind of paint where I think that would be on top of the coffee here, just with a white paintbrush, trying not to mess up my cute little pink coffee cup. And I was so glad that I was able to change this because I've been wanting to use this for my coffee bar, and I think this looks really cute. Then I wanted to add a little bit of red to it, just to kind of sketch out where the coffee cup is. So I decided to outline mine with just a red paint pen. It's going to bring in that pink and red color, and it's just going to kind of define things a little bit more since I did have to paint everything. But it was actually not too bad to do, and I think it's really cool. I love any kind of project that lights up like this, and just an item from the Dollar Tree. It only cost $1.25. I'm going to put that right over here on this side of the coffee bar shelf. Now all I have to do is I always like to do like some kind of a pennant banner or something. And you know what? I thought I would make a garland with these cute little cupcakes from the Dollar Tree. I picked up some red ones and some pink ones, so I thought we could mix it up. Whenever I do like a garland or a pennant banner, I always like to do odd numbers. So I think 5 is going to work really well. And I'm going to alternate colors. So I'll do pink, red, pink, red, pink. So I cut down some twine, the exact width that I need to go on my bottom shelf of my coffee bar. And I just cut the ornament hangers. I'm going to use them just by tying those on. Whenever you tie an item onto a garland like this, it's great because you can always move them side to side if you need to rearrange them. And then I just cut off the excess ornament hanger on there. It is silver, which I'm not crazy about, but you can't really tell. Once you get it on there, I double knot it, and then I cut it off. And so I started in the middle so it'd be kind of centered and kind of worked my way out on both sides. I don't really want to put any nails or anything on my floating shelves above my coffee bar, but I just use a dot of hot glue on each side, and it tends to hold up pretty well for a cute little garland like this. How cute is that? It was so easy to do. And this is how it looks on my bottom shelf of my coffee bar. Super fun. I also went through my mug collection and got all my Valentine's Day Rae Dunn mugs, which I always love. I have a Be Mine, 2 Be Mines, I guess, #love and a soulmate. So I think those will be fun to add to my coffee bar for Valentine's Day. But this is how that bottom shelf turned out. I think it's really cute. Some really fun, easy DIYs, some finds from the Dollar Tree. I love those cupcakes. I might have to buy more of those because they're just so fun to craft with. They'd be cute too if you wanted to do a Valentine's Day tree. And this was how the top shelf turned out of the coffee bar. I love the Sweetheart Cafe sign, the little desserts. The open sign I think is really cute and charming. And then let me show you how it all looks together. I got everything except for my coffee makers in this one, but I have coffee makers right underneath of it on my coffee bar. But I love the color scheme. I hope I gave you some fun crafting inspiration for a Valentine's Day coffee bar or any kind of decor in your kitchen. And this is how it all looks together. Now for the next DIY, I'm going to be doing the same kind of color scheme and the same kind of theme. And this one is going to be a Valentine's Day tiered tray DIY. I wanted the theme on this one to be a lot of baking and Valentine's Day cookies and sweets and lots of pink and red for Valentine's Day. And so what I'm going to do is I kind of missed some footage here, but I took a Dollar Tree wood plank, just the square 4.5 by 4.5 inches, and I painted it bright red. I want it to look like a red cookie. I know it's a square, but we're going to kind of decorate it to kind of make it look like a cookie. And I want it to also be a sign. This is going to be for the very top of my tier tray for my kitchen. And I want it to look like a big sugar cookie. So I thought this little decal from the Dollar Tree would be perfect. It is a Sweet Love decal, and so I just Mod Podged that on to the front of my plain red sign. Such an easy way to make a sign with the Dollar Tree. And then I'm going to take some of the spackling, and I even found a cake decorating kit from the Dollar Tree, and I wanted to see if I could use the spackle to kind of make it look like frosting. So that little sign for the top of my tier tray, I want it to look like a Valentine's Day cookie. So I'm just going to fill up this little dessert bag with the spackle. This spackle was fairly wet, and so it actually worked pretty well. If you find that your spackle's too dry or doesn't work well for frosting, I have found like mixing paint. Like if I were to mix white paint with this, it's going to make it smoother and creamier. But I'm just going to go ahead and feed that spackle into my dessert bag. Easy peasy. You can always use a Ziploc bag too if you need to, but the great thing about this is it had the little decorating tips on there like you would use to decorate a cookie. So I am just going to decorate this with frosting the best that I can. And then down the sides as well, because again, I wanted it to look like a little decorated sugar cookie to go with our Valentine's sweets theme. And so I just do it on all four sides. I let that dry for a little bit, let it start to set up, and look how that looks like frosting. It's so cute. I just went ahead and tied it to the very top of my tier tray on the ring. And then I wanted to start with a Dollar Tree sign. This is one of the little Be Mine heart signs they have. I kind of wanted mine to kind of go more with my color scheme, less glitter. So I just popped off the little heart on there and painted mine with pink parfait just on the back of it. And then I thought I could just go ahead and reattach. My theme for this one, color-wise, is going to be the pinks and the reds and like any kind of sweets that might be those traditional like Valentine's Day colors. And I just went ahead and reattached my heart to the top with a little hot glue. And super cute. I like these signs. I think they're really cute. And it's nice and tall. So I'm going to kind of put mine back here towards the back. This tier tray that I'm decorating is my old cupcake stand tier tray. I don't have that one anymore. It broke. I've had it forever, but it's just a 2-tier tray. Now for the next DIY, I'm going to take one of the cute little glass mugs with a little pedestal on the bottom from Dollar Tree, and I just simply put some pink parfait acrylic paint here in the bottom. I thinned mine out by adding a little bit of water to it as well because I want a nice thin paint. And then I'm just going to swirl that around inside of this cup. I thought this would make a great shake cup for my sweets theme on my tier tray. So as you can see, I just go all the way around until the inside of the little glass mug is completely covered in that thinned paint. I'm going to go ahead and wipe off the excess, and you're probably going to want to dry yours upside down on a paper towel. If you want to hurry it along, a heat gun will dry it a little bit faster. And that is how mine looks when it's dry. Now I just kind of need some filler for the middle because I'm actually not going to have anything in it. It's just going to look like I do, right? So I actually just use paper towels. You can use whatever you have. And then I'm going to go in with some of this caulk mastic from the Dollar Tree and squeeze that on top. I thought we could do that for frosting, try to make it look like whipped cream if I could for the top of my little pink Valentine's Day sundae. I was trying to use one of the dessert tips from the little bag to kind of give me a swirly pattern just by putting that on the very end of the caulk mastic. And it worked. It was a little bit more difficult than I thought getting this out of the tube, maybe because my tube was getting a little bit empty. But I don't think I'm going to have enough, so I actually switched it up to some of my spackle in the little bag, and I actually use that to try to finish off the top of it. Just trying to get it into a swirly pattern. I probably should have added some paint to that. It probably would have made it look a little bit creamier, but I think that will work. And then I thought the perfect finishing touch for my little strawberry sundae for Valentine's Day would be a little cherry on top. So I'm just going to DIY a cherry just by using a wood bead and painting that with some bright red acrylic paint. A very easy little cherry. And then for the cherry stem, I actually had some of the sticker wire from Dollar Tree. Mine was purple, but I just went ahead and painted mine brown with a paint pen to kind of give it the look of a little cherry stem. And I'm just actually going to put that right down inside the wood bead like that. Attach it with just a little dot of hot glue, and that DIY cherry was actually really easy to put together. And probably way less expensive than buying something like this pre-made. I'm just going to put a little hot glue on the tip to glue it to our faux whipped cream. And then for the Valentine's Day touch, I wanted a little heart on there. So I'm just going to use one of the little red and white polka dot window decals and put that right on the front of my glass. So cute. I love how this turned out. And I think this is going to look really cute up here on the very top of our little Valentine's Day sweets themed tier tray. For the next DIY, I picked up one of these little candle holders in the heart shape from Dollar Tree in pink. And I also found this great little dessert candle. It says it's called a vanilla shake, and it looks like whipped cream, right? So I thought that would be perfect for like our Valentine sweets theme. And so I'm just going to go ahead and remove the plastic and paper from the sides. And then I thought we could decorate it a little bit. It looks like it's just like a vanilla candle at the bottom, but I thought we could add like some Dollar Tree ribbon, some Valentine's Day ribbon, or some red, and kind of decorate it just to make it a little bit more colorful. And we can display that little candle, the little jar candle, on the little pink candle holder. So I'm going to start with a band of red because I kind of want it to look like a little red cupcake in there. And then I'm also going to use the Hugs and Kisses Valentine's Day ribbon to give it a little fun touch for Valentine's Day. So I just cut down both ribbons to the size of my candle holder, and then we're just going to attach those. I want to leave the whipped cream of the candle visible. I think that's super cute. And just hot glue that. I cut it where it is long enough to just slightly overlap, just hot gluing this ribbon to itself. And it looks like a little layer of red cake. And then for the very bottom, we're decorating it again with the Valentine's Day ribbon. Just starting there in the back and wrapping it around and hot gluing it. And the two of them together pretty much covers up the entire like cake, or I guess shake part of it. Makes it a little bit more colorful. And I'm going to like that red contrast against the pink little heart-shaped candle holders. I love those little candle holders. Those are so cute for decorating for Valentine's Day. I'm going to put that on the top of my two-tier tray too. It's a nice tall piece when they're together, so I'm going to go ahead and put my heart candle holder and my little Hugs and Kisses candle. Looks like a little shake over there as well. And then I picked up a couple of other items to decorate with. This is the Target Dollar Spot version of the heart-shaped measuring cups. It's similar to the ones at Dollar Tree, except it has the spoons too. And as you can see, it's like reds and different shades of pink, really cute, but you could totally use the one from the Dollar Tree too. I was trying to decide how I wanted to display mine, whether I wanted it to be open, closed, or whatever. And then this is one of the little red silicone whisks just from the Dollar Tree. And I thought that would go great with the sweets theme. So I'm just going to arrange those here on the front of my tier tray. Trying to get those to sit nicely. And then the little red whisk. And I also found some of these little heart cookie cutters. These were actually Christmas cookie cutters, but they're shaped like hearts. So Target had them on clearance. So I got these really cheap. But they're really cute because they have like a little pink silicone on them to be able to push down on the cookies. And I thought this would be a perfect final touch up here. So with the little measuring cups, I'm just going to lay a couple of the little heart-shaped cookie cutters there too. And then the whisk we bought from Dollar Tree, we can add up here as well. Just a little stack of baking supplies to make more Valentine's Day sweets. I didn't really like how my measuring cups were sitting, and so I do kind of rearrange things here until I'm a little bit happier with it. But this tier tray is coming together really cute. I love the top tier. That little cookie at the top really is so cute. Okay, for the bottom tier, this is another one of the Dollar Tree barns. This one is the white one, but it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to paint over all of the writing with a couple coats of white to kind of give me a blank canvas because I kind of wanted to DIY my own barn on this one. So then I wanted to be bright red. I had a fun idea for this little red barn. And so I'm just going to paint mine this bright red acrylic color. I'm being careful to try to keep that red paint off the wood roof if I can. And just going to give this a solid color of red. Definitely going to require more than one coat though, because I want it to be bright red and the red, can kind of go on a little bit patchy. But I worked with it a little bit until I was happy with it. Now for the roof part, I wanted to bring in the other color that we were using, the pink. So this is the pink parfait, and that kind of goes with our pink and red color scheme we've been going for on these sweet DIYs. It took a couple of coats on that too to kind of cover up the wood roof there, and I think that looks really cute. Now I'm going to go in with a white paint pen, and we are gonna just put some words on here. I'm trying to do a Rae Dunn font, and I wanted to say Sweet Shack to go with my sweet theme for Valentine's Day. I guess you could always put Love Shack too if you wanted to, but I wanted to do sweet just because I wanted the word sweet in there, so I just lettered it on there myself. Super easy. I'm gonna finish it off with a little pink wood heart from the Dollar Tree. And it's a nice large piece here for the bottom of my tier tray. I'm going to kind of put mine towards the back since it's nice and tall. Now the next DIY is one of the little Dollar Tree Valentine's Day heart-shaped candy dispensers. These are cute. They're a little small scale, and I couldn't find any candy small enough to go in there. I know there are some candies that are, but they did have these little conversation hearts at the Dollar Tree, so that goes with Valentine's Day. So I went ahead and filled it up with those. We'll just have to unscrew them. I don't think they'll actually come through the dispenser, but it's kind of more for decor than function, I guess. To add a little color to the pink base, I decided to use some more of that red ribbon from the Dollar Tree and just go around the top. Just to kind of add a little bit more character to it, but just an easy little candy sweet dispenser. And then for another fun touch, I added a little heart window decal to this one as well, just to make it a little bit extra special. I just stick that on the front of the plastic, and this definitely goes with our sweets theme, a little candy dispenser shaped like a heart. Now for the next DIY, I picked up one of these conversation heart signs from the Dollar Tree, and I thought we'd give it a little makeover. I wanted to look like a giant Valentine's Day cookie for the sweets theme. Now it has the word love on there. I kind of want to make mine look like frosting, and I want it to be like red frosting, but I wanted to go over it with white first, so that I kind of have a bright color to go underneath my red to kind of make that red pop. So I just used my white paint pen and sketched out the word love, just using what was already on there as a reference. And then I can go back in there with my red and go over that, spelling out the word love. And it's going to go with my pink and red color scheme that we've been going for on this tier tray. And then once I get it painted, I'm also going to go in here and try to decorate this one too, to kind of make it look like a little Valentine's Day sweet. So I did my red paint pen. It was a little blotchy, so I did touch it up a little with some of my bright red to kind of make it fill in a little bit more. And I do want it to look like frosting, but I also want it to kind of pop. So I decided to outline mine with my white paint pen to kind of give it that red and white feel on the pink heart. And I think it made it a little bit easier to read. Then I'm going to go in with some of that caulk mastic again from the Dollar Tree and try to put one of the little dessert tips there in the end. See if we can decorate this little conversation heart and make it look like a giant cookie. So again, I just did a star point, and I'm kind of having to hold that on. the little container, but it kind of stayed on pretty good by itself. And it does eliminate having to put it in a bag or anything like that. So it's almost easier than using the spackling. And it did a good job of like kind of keeping the little heart shape here to make it look like frosting. So we're just going to finish this part up. I think it looks so cute. It doesn't really look like it looked before. With the conversation heart, it definitely looks like a giant cookie now. And it's nice and chunky, so it stands up on its own. We're going to put it next to our little sweet shack here. Now, the next DIY, I found this cute little ceramic cupcake at the Dollar Tree with a little heart on top. It's one of the plain plaster ones, though, so definitely going to have to paint this one on our own. So I start out with the little heart on the very top of the cupcake. And we're going to paint this one bright red to make it look like, I guess, like a little heart cherry on top. And I like these little plaster ones because you can kind of, paint them and make them your own. It's definitely a little bit more work, but anytime you can do your own colors and stuff, like I'm using the two colors we've been using on everything, the bright red and the pink parfait. This had little heart sprinkles all over, and you can kind of see them bumped out. You can see them enough to paint them, and just using a tiny little paintbrush. And then I go ahead and add some extra sprinkles as well, whatever I can do to kind of fill it up, make it look cute. And then there's also like a drippy frosting coming over the sides of the cupcake. And so I went ahead and did that with the pink as well to kind of make it pop against the white frosting. And I pull that down on all the little drips there of the frosting. Now for the little cupcake, I guess, liner, I'm going to paint that the bright red color. So just using my small brush, I just kind of go in between all the little drip marks. As you can see, there's like embossed like writing and decor on that as well. And I just take my time, like one little section here at a time, and get that painted bright red. Once I got that dry, then I can go in with my white paint pen and kind of draw on the design. It was kind of hard to read, but it says "Be Mine" on this little Dollar Tree cupcake, and I just try to sketch that out with my white paint pen. Definitely the easiest way to try to paint that for sure. A little bit tricky. And a little heart on the side. Then the little heart on top, it looks like has little candy sprinkles on it. So I decided to use my pink paint pen and kind of paint those on there as well, alternating with pink and white for some fun contrast. Then I decided to go over the whole thing, like the icing top here, with Mod Podge. And the reason I'm doing this is to try to make it look glossy, like a dessert, because that white ceramic for like the whipped cream or the frosting on top, is a very matte color. And I want it to look shiny like icing would look. So I just glossed it up with some gloss Mod Podge. And I think it turned out really cute. We're going to put this little guy right over here. Perfect for the sweets theme. The next DIY is I don't have to do anything. It's just a find. A little red sugar cookie for Valentine's Day that I picked up at Dollar Tree. I'm going to leave mine in the package so that we can eat it for Valentine's Day. I just put it right there in front. Now, the next DIY, I wanted to see if I could take one of these little red gnomes from the Dollar Tree and kind of DIY it, kind of make it go with the Valentine's Day sweet themes. I always love a good gnome DIY. So I tried to pick out like some hearts I wanted to kind of cover up. This one had like little Christmas trees on it. I guess it's left over from Christmas. And I wanted it to look like little cookies on it. So I decided to use Model Magic. And it was really easy to do. All I did was take the Model Magic and form it into a little heart shape like that. And put that right on the hat of our gnome. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm just rolling it into a ball, pinching one end, and then kind of making a little indent on the other side. I want them to look kind of flat, but 3D, so it kind of looks like a baked cookie or dessert for Valentine's Day. And I did a third one here for this side of the hat. And basically I just covered up what was already on there, the little Christmas trees, and made it my own. Now for the nose, I decided to paint it pink. I thought that would go cute with our pink and red theme. So I just use a tiny paintbrush and that pink parfait acrylic paint and just go over the nose. Just a couple coats to get good coverage, and I thought that was a fun little thing to do. I did go in with a little bit of that glossy Mod Podge to try to get like that glossy feel back on the nose since I painted it. And look how cute he looks. Our little Valentine sweet gnome, I'm going to put him right in front. Now this DIY was really fun. I found this little bath bomb at Dollar Tree. It's shaped like a heart, and it reminded me of a macaron. It kind of has the shape, as you can see, and then I thought if I just added like some white right here and around the middle, it'll look like the dessert. So I thought that would go with my sweets theme, a little fun feel. And so I just used some white acrylic, and I just went around the seam that was like already there and did that layer. And basically that's all I have to do. This was so easy to put together. And I think that will look really cute right here in front where you can see it. And a fun little detail. Now I just need a little bit of filler, and I have some of these red and pink little wood hearts from the Dollar Tree. So I thought these would be really cute. I could kind of scatter these around my tier tray to kind of fill up any empty areas. Not really doing a plant theme on this one at all. So I kind of wanted everything to be red and pink and everything to look sweet. So these almost look like little pieces of candy. And I just scatter those all around the tier tray. And here is a little sneak peek of our little sweets theme, Valentine's Day tier tray. Lots of fun little Dollar Tree DIYs and ideas of things that you can do. I love how I kind of incorporated all sweets on these. So we have cookies, we have baking, we have the shake, we have candy, cupcakes, just so many different things. And I think it all really came together, and it was really fun to make. And I really love this theme. I think that these DIYs look great combined with the DIYs that I just did for my coffee bar for Valentine's Day. I, of course, love this theme. I've done a similar theme several times on my channel, and this is definitely one of my favorite Valentine's Day tier trays. I think it looks so cute for my kitchen. I have this perfect area here underneath my cabinet that always looks great when it's dressed up for a season, and a tier tray is a great way to do that. So here it is, our little bakery theme tier tray. Kind of a Cupid's bakery theme. And up next, I have the final reveal for all the DIYs we made in today's video. Be sure to let me know which DIY or coffee bar versus tier tray was your favorite today. Down in the comments below. I love reading all of your comments. Be sure to check out my second channel, Crafty Little Beach, and enjoy the final reveal.
Nothing ever felt as good or as easy as when we were young. Oh, though I felt misunderstood, it was a pleasure running away with you. We were just children acting like a doll, crazy, naive, bold and carefree. We were kids having kids, crazy, naive. It amazes me that we didn't fall apart harder than we did. picky person speaking terms. We grow and we learn. I have no regrets, only forgets. Oh, a big thank you to life for giving us sand. Oh, when the timing's right, there's no wasteland. Oh, we were just children, acting like adults. Crazy, naive, bold and carefree. We were kids having kids. Crazy, naive. It amazes me that we didn't fall apart harder than we did. Oh, life keeps on moving. It's cold. Yes, life goes on changing. Says it's made that we didn't fall apart harder than we did.
Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of today's video. I also want to give a huge thank you to all of my YouTube members for helping to support my channel here on YouTube. Thank you to Karen O'Haron, Melinda Elizabeth, Jamie Job, Susan Edmonds, Tracy Knight, Janae Farrington, Pamelia Wren, Donna Schreiner, Live Another Day, Maren Christensen, Adrian Brolt, Debbie Middleton, Red Mama, and Donna Tanner. I really appreciate you guys. Every little bit helps when you're a smaller channel here on YouTube. If you would like to become a Crafty Beach member, all you have to do is hit the join button next to today's video. You're going to get early ad-free access to my content here on YouTube. It's $4.99 a month, and you're free to cancel at any time. Would you like more Valentine's Day Dollar Tree DIYs? Be sure to check out one of these videos right here. And until next time, happy crafting and happy Valentine's Day.